Okay. Okay, I'm shaking now. Right, so, let's look at today's scripture. Today's scripture is John 20, verse 25 to 26. Okay, let's read it together. So the other disciples told him, "We have seen the Lord." But he said to them, "Unless I see the nail marks in his hands, and put my fingers where the nails were, and put my hand into his side, I will not believe it." A week later, his disciples were in the house again, and Thomas was with them. Though the doors were locked, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." Amen. So when I was a little boy, I really enjoyed to be to the market with my mother because she always bought me a chocolate when I went with her. And however, when I went to a restroom during the shopping, she was gone. She was just keep shopping, never mind where I am. I think it was possible because I was raised in Korea, and every time my mother was missing, I just went to the information desk and asked them, "My mother is missing now." So I know how the feeling of the little kids who are missing their mom. I think disciples of Jesus also felt like that, just like missing their parents in the market. Or even more though. The disciples threw everything away to follow Jesus and thought he would be the king of the Israel. But Jesus was dead. There were no hope in their heart, and everyone in the town were looking for them to kill them. So they were afraid and hiding at some place and locked their doors. So today's scripture is telling us, though the doors were locked, the door was to defend themselves, but also means that they were trapped in some situation with no hope. That firmly locked door means their only hope, Jesus, was died. He was gone. But someday, Mary went to the tomb of Jesus and saw the tomb was empty. There were two angels and said, "He is alive." Mary told to the disciples, and after that, Jesus really came to their front, and he was really alive. Disciples were incredibly surprised, and they were speaking each other about this good news. But unfortunately, in that place, Thomas was not there. Peter, John, and every disciples were so glad that Jesus is alive, and as soon as Thomas came, they just grabbed his arm and told him, "Hey, do you know Jesus is alive? He came here." But Thomas thought they were crazy. He didn't believe it. Thomas said, "Unless I see the nail marks in his hand, and put my fingers where the nails were, and put my hand into his side, I will not believe it." He didn't believe the resurrection, even Jesus was really alive. So let's think about Thomas. Who is it? So Thomas was a disciple who had a pride in himself. The Bible describes him as a loyal person because he said, when Jesus was in a crisis, he said, "Let's go and die for him." Yes, he had a great loyalty to Jesus. But as much as he had loyalty to Jesus, he felt more disappointed for him. I think he felt like he was betrayed by Jesus because he is gone. So he thought, Jesus can't be alive. I can't rely on anybody because even Jesus left me. And we know there are still peoples who don't believe in Jesus say like this. You know, life you have to go through only with your strength. You can't rely on somebody. You can't believe anyone because life is just like that. And I want to ask for them, what is the meaning of Easter to you? What is the meaning of Easter in this world? Yes, in traditional Christian way, the Easter means that Jesus died for our sin and also he overcame the death. But also Easter means that there is still hope in this world. There is a person you can rely on. Amen. And he is still with you. He never left you. And it could look like Jesus is gone in your life or for others because some bad things still happen in your life. But Jesus is still alive. Perhaps some people's, their heart will be like the room of the disciples, like the locked doors. So no one could rely on, no one could pass the door to their hearts. But today is Easter. It was like a miracle. The door was locked, but Jesus was just in there. Amen. And it means that even you close your heart to the world and think like, no, there's no religion. It's not scientific and logical. I can't believe it. I can rely on Jesus. It's for weak persons. But as soon as you feel like you're a weak person, I want to recommend you to rely on Jesus because he is still alive. And I hope he will be in your side, in your heart, even you lock your door so no one could pass in. The triumph of Jesus over sin and this is so great that we easily forget those who have not yet come to Jesus' resurrection. But there are still people need some hope in their life. And I think Easter means the true hope. And there is still someone you could still rely on. There's someone you can still believe on. And I really hope today, for everyone, Jesus is infused in your heart. Amen. And creates some new hope and energy in your heart, in your life. And this Easter could be the real for you.
Amen. Amen.
The scripture is telling us that Jesus was so alive that he was touchable. Thomas really could touch his hand, his side. He was so real. We could think, no, Jesus is not here now. He's in heaven, inside of God. But still, you can touch Jesus in your life.
Amen.
He is still standing in your life.
Amen.
So, I hope everyone in this place, every family, and even everyone who is not here would have some hope to Jesus.
Amen.
Thank you very much.
Amen.